And I can go into the pantry and whittle about for pudding. A proper lunch needs a proper pudding, and I have in mind my chocolate pear pudding, which sounds like, why go to this trouble? But I promise you, it is no trouble. It's fantastically easy and mercifully quick. I love the fact that with no notice, I've always got the wherewithal to make something as comforting as my chocolate pear pudding. I start off with a couple of cans of pears. I use the ones in juice, not syrup. Just drain them and lay them however you want on the bottom of a square pie dish, about 23 centimetres square, I think. Doesn't really matter how you put them in the dish. I tend always to put them with the hump sides uppermost. Do as you please. That's the pears done. Now on to the chocolate sponge they're going to be draped with. Simple enough. I start off with 125 grams of plain flour. And I'd say the same amount of sugar, just caster sugar for preference. And it's this that lends the sponge its deep chocolatey intensity. A teaspoon of baking powder, just a quarter teaspoon of bicarb. I want 150 grams of soft unsalted butter, just all in one go.
Blender. Can't find a blender. This'll do. Wait a minute, Nigella.
It's a rather thicker batter than I often make for cakes. I mean, normally I might thin it with some milk, but the reason is I think some of these pears will leach out a little bit of liquid, delicious as well. So I want the cake mix to be thicker to start off with. When I'm by myself and I want a quick, easy pleasure, well, this makes the nuts nuttier. Just hitting you about here. Bit of lubrication. Just over a stick. It has to be soft though. I shall get on with greasing my ramekins. And I do this always the way my granny did. It'll need about 20 minutes. The top will be quite cracked, a bit like a macaroon. But underneath it will be so invitingly gooey.